Hey guys, welcome back to my second video. Granted that it has been about almost a month since my first video. I'm still back though because I'm going to start this project full time now that I'm back in Singapore. Okay, so regarding the character design sketch, which I had promised the last time, well, things happened which made me to scrap my first character design sketch which I did before. So this is the first one, and wow. Okay, let me just say how it ended up. Yeah, it ended up with Naruto having a beard and a scar on his face, and well, first reactions, people fucking hated it. Why? Because Naruto has a beard. But my question is, how the heck do you show Uzumaki people having grown up because they have so much damn life force? You can't show them grown up. I mean, okay, here's the thing. Take a comparison of Naruto the Last and Naruto Hokage. Okay, here's what he looks like in the last movie. Hmm? This is your sorry. Okay, this is how Naruto looks in the last movie, and this is how he looks as an Hokage. Yeah, practically no difference. Wait a minute. Here we go. Do you see any difference in that face? You probably don't see it even between the, say, the young Naruto versus the, well, the latest one, versus the young one. Ah, shit, here we go again. Young one. Oh well, you get my point. I mean, there's practically no difference. Okay, so I guess the only thing I can probably introduce into the design sketch is, say, a scar on his right cheek, and probably a costume change. So I'm probably gonna change the design of the shirt, and a scar on his right cheek. That's the only way to go. So, as for the other character design sketches, well, pretty much the same thing. We're gonna have costume change for Sasuke and Gara as well. We might. I'm not sure about any other changes, but if you want, you could leave it down in the comment section to let me know. There's one knock. Ah. So you can let me know in the comment section if you want to see a change in, say, Sasuke and Gara other than the costume change. Okay, I'll try my best to follow your request. Now on to the next business. Okay, I'm here to show. Okay, this was based on a question how an anime is made, because you see my project is to make an animation, this entire fan animation by myself and no one else. Okay, so my first question, which well, backfired pretty much as you guessed it. Okay, how an anime, I mean, how many people does it take to make a single anime? Okay, and well, that one, the answer was totally unexpected, to be honest. Okay, so let's see. When asked this question, there's one director, two series composition, five script writers, eight storyboard writers, nine episode directors, one music, one original creator, one original character design, one character design, one art director, chief animation director, art design, three of them, sound director, one director of photography, one producers, two, second key animation, one. I can go on and on, and this list ain't gonna be over. And here's the thing: after counting all, it's a grand total of 250. Wow, 250 people required to make one anime, and here I thought I could do it all by myself. Shame on me. Well, I'm still gonna try it. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm a doer. I don't quit. At least that's what I decided to say about myself. I don't know if I'm gonna quit, But let's see, I mean, how bad can it be? I've seen some fan animations on the internet, okay? But before we check onto the fan animations, I'll just show you how an anime is made. Well, there is this one video we are missing from the list. Let me just take it out. Yep, that's the video. And it's a damn advertisement. Okay, now this is within a major production studio, you know, IG production, yeah. So this one is anime called Sengoku Basara. Okay, what you're seeing is a sheet detailing the well, the animation, the keyframes, the main frames, okay, that determine how the other frames, you know, follow into the main frames. I'm pretty much sure I didn't make sense over there, but let's continue.
まあ、この原画を何枚も何枚も描いてですね、タイミングをまあ、シートというものに描いて、で実際の最終的なその動く線画にまずなります。
So what you're seeing over there is the main frame, as I would like to call it. Okay, the main frame. Yeah, there's a main frame like that shows the first action, and then the second main frame shows the ending action, and then you got the keyframes in between. And what these guys do is that you have the main animation, I mean the people who handle the main frames, and then there are people who handle the keyframes to make the action smooth. Okay, I'll show you once the video rolls. So yeah. Now this is an important fact to note, is that, you know, when a video plays, you have to see how many frame rate is played at. Now granted, with the latest technology news, I'm sure you must be aware of what is frames per second, and obviously the hertz and refresh rate and whatnot. So yeah, a video generally today, by today's standards, the video usually plays at about, say, 30 frames per second. Okay, cinematic formats and animation, they play at about 24 frames per second. Okay, now 24 frames per second, can you, if you convert that to images, yeah, it's 24 images per second. Okay, and well, obviously there's a way to deal with this. Okay, and most production studios decide how many pictures they want in a second. Now for this specific anime, what they did is that they decided, okay, we have like 8 pictures in a second, and what they're going to do is they're going to drag the time gap between every frame to make the animation smooth. So yeah, that's about 8 sheets per second for this studio. So yeah, so this is for 24 frames. Wait, what? Each sheet will make up 3 frames. Okay, so each sheet, okay, like they said, 8 sheets for 1 second, right? So yeah, you're gonna see a 1 sheet tripled. So 8 into 3, you get 24. So yeah, that's what happens, and you get 1 second of animation. Okay. And there you see, folks, that's what 8 frames does. So you got 480 sheets for 1 minute, and I'm gonna die doing that. But let's continue watching, shall we?
丁寧に仕上げていく、崩れないようにですね。書くときに、
That's a character design sketch which I failed on.
自分の顔もその表情もお疲れもしかも手の。
Okay, now there's a very important part in animation. That's the anatomical figure of the of the character itself. Now, You can't have characters. Okay, this one animation mistake you have to note. Okay, this is from the battle between Naruto versus Pain. Okay, so let's see this: Naruto versus Pain. Pain's face. So that's what happens when you don't follow the rules of anatomy. So all you have to know is that while doing the keyframes between the main frames, you have to follow the rules of anatomy, and if you don't follow it, you won't get a smooth animation. Even if you do get a smooth animation, you'll end up seeing shit like this. But it kind of adds to the drama, I think. Yeah, I think I kind of like it, to be honest. But I won't do that in mine. I'm not going to do that in mine, definitely. So that's one part of animation you have to know. Okay, these are all just the visual aspects. We have not covered the soundtrack part of it yet. Okay, so the only advantage of doing this is that in a fan animation you already have a world you can work on. That's because the world is already previously built by the person who did the world building himself. Masashi Kishimoto created Naruto, so now we have a Naruto world to work on, and yeah, that's what makes it easier in a fan animation or a fan fiction for story writers. Now the next part in this animation, okay, what we saw was just how to animate characters, but we haven't seen the entire thing. Now this is part where you have to animate the background. Okay, I don't think it's there in this one though, to be honest. Let's see, is it there? So there, it's not there. Oh yeah, we'll get to that part later. Okay. Okay, this is for Naruto movie 1. Okay, and this is just like a single computer, but to render the entire thing, I think they took like about 1,000 computers. Yeah, 1,000 computers working on a single movie project together. And here I am working with just one laptop. Well, luckily, the latest technology does allow us to reach those levels of power.
Hand painted. Look at the backgrounds. Next come the backgrounds, and these things are amazing. They're hand drawn and hand painted.
Hand painted. You guys see that? Hand painted. I can only draw, and I can only draw in black and white. I'm going to color. I'm going to do painting through a Wacom tablet on a laptop. On to the next one.
And reviewed. Software, which
There's one part in which you have to do the background, and then the second part is where you have to move the background with the animation. But we'll get to that later. Okay, we have done with the basic visual aspects of an animation. What I'm going to show you is how the sound aspects matter. Okay.
Probably knew that the voice of Goku was voiced by a woman.
おお、元気そうだな。オラに似て強そうだ。わーい。
But did you know that the voice of Naruto was too?
お世話だって言ってんだ。いい加減にしろよ。勝手に飛び込んできて、勝手に怪我して。俺一人だったらあんな攻撃何度でもなったんだよ。
I'm Jay.
Okay, now back to what I was saying. My initial plan was to say download an Android app. Okay, I've heard of stuff, and what they said is that there's an Android app in the market which can convert your voice to Naruto's voice. Like you have the Talking Tom Cat application, right? So there's one for Naruto as well. My plan was to use it, but I haven't even seen if the application works. So there's that. Then there are the other characters, because you get only famous anime characters voices. Now there are some other anime characters I have to voice out. Say if you've read my story before, there's Guy Sensei, there's Rock Lee, there's Iruka, I think these three characters are appearing in the first two chapters, I think. Yeah. So the plan was for me to record my voices according to the script I've already prepared. Yeah, I have to do the expression, the emotion, everything I have to convey through the voice, and I have to change the pitch and the tone to match that of the character which I want to voice out. Say Guy Sensei, I might have to go for a deeper voice with a different tone. Yeah. So there's that. Okay, that's just the voice over part. And trust me when I say fan animations, they are not perfect for one reason only: voiceover. There are some different fan animations, but they use a totally different set of voices to match the expressions and emotions and whatnot, but you will never get the original voice. And my wish is to bring forth that original voice as well. So there's that. Then there's the soundtrack. Luckily, we have the Naruto OSTs, original soundtracks. So we should have some background music, and worry not, if I don't have my own soundtrack, I'll just play my piano right over there. So yeah, we have that one covered. Okay, but of course the OSTs are available, so I will use that. But there's the special sound effects. Say if you're walking through a street, you will hear the sound of footsteps being played, and then there are some other sound effects. Say like, mixing along with the crowd. You should have that background noise of a crowd. Like, but I can't emulate that. Anyway, so we have to take care of that one also. And then there are lots of sound effects, say for Rasengan, for Chidori as well. But yeah, I can't draw those things because you have to animate them. So that means I have to use some particle lighting techniques to bring out the animation of Rasengan or Chidori or whatever I'm going to use in my fan animation. Okay, and this one's 2D animation. I'm not going to do 3D. Okay, 3D is kind of easy as long as you design your character in 3D. If you design it just once, you can keep reusing the character. But then for 2D, every time you do, it's a new drawing. Of course, maybe you can copy paste in some situations, maybe you can trace over in some situations, but yeah, it'll take a really long time to do it in 2D. But I've chosen to do it, might as well do it. Okay, so yeah, this is just a sample of how it's going to be done. This is a 2 minutes video. Okay, as you have noticed, well, this is not a perfect drawing per se, but it's still acceptable in acceptable standards. If you notice, there's this one part where Kakashi's face was like, let's see, where I said again, is it here? What the hell is it? This is okay, so as you notice in this part, when they do the shadow for the face, shadow of the hair over the face, okay, this is not like detailed, but I have to do that detail as well. Now another aspect to consider while doing animation is the weather settings. Okay, usually you have the sunny weather to do the animations properly. In that case, you have to consider the shadows and lightings and whatnot. So if you don't get the position of the shadows correctly, and if the shadows don't move accordingly in the animation, say if you're shifting around during a battle, the shadow has to move accordingly, and if you don't get that right, obviously people are going to notice. So that's another aspect I have to worry about. And then there's the effects for the movement. Now as you've noticed, when Kakashi is swinging, there's this motion the person had to do. Yep, you see this white line. Yep, so that's another motion expression, like motion drawing after do on top of the character animation. And I'm probably gonna have to copy images after images just like this guy, because I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur trying to attempt a professional work. Wait a minute. Wait, I have to see that one. Let's see, how long did this guy take? He started at 5:10. Okay, 5:10. This is 2014, no problem. Fine. Let's see, what time did he end it in actually? Holy shit, this one took 1 hour. God damn. Okay, so this one is already a ready-made background, and probably I'm gonna have to make use of those kind of backgrounds if possible. And even if you do that, okay, this one is, as you notice, is not a perfect animation, but even this imperfect animation where the movements are a bit fluid, it took this is like half a second animation with a loop, I think. Yeah. It's almost okay, it's almost 1 second or 1.2 maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, but this is not even like a fluid animation, this is like imperfect animation, but this thing took 1 hour. I can only imagine how long will it take to do perfect animation. But yeah, I mean, if manga creators take about say 10 to 12 hours for like one page in black and white, this is considering the finished detail. Okay, this is not just like you do the character sketch and that's it. No, you do the background, you do the effects. It's like say the overshadowing for well, there are lots of stuff. I'm pretty sure if you have read manga, you have pretty much noticed those stuff which I'm talking about. But if all those stuff together takes 12 hours, well, perfect frame of animation might take more than close to at least 4 or 5 hours. And imagine doing that. So if you have to create like 1 minute of animation, that's gonna take, like you said, 480 sheets. If you put 480 into 480 into 2 hours, just to be safe. Nine sixty divided by 60. Wait, what? What did I just do again? Wait, 960 hours. Oh, okay. I get it. So we have 960 divided by 24. 40 days, guys. It took 40 days. I'm gonna die. I'm definitely gonna die. I'm dead. So there you go, a roundup of punishment I'm gonna face for the next 1.5 months to 2 months, and I barely doubt I will even complete it at the end. Oh god, what did I put myself into? Anyways, that's it for today's video, and if I'm still gonna do this project, I'll meet you on the next video. Peace.